I am going to try not to fail this time. I think I got a few invitations left. And don't have much blood left, unfortunately. So I need to make the best of what's going on. Hopefully I'll kill him. And for today's run, we got the Hellion. I know, it's not the best, but the Highwayman. Yes, take a look at him. Man, shield breaker. And the vessel. Now, what's going to happen is these two middle units are going to forever be moving, but I'm going to try to keep the Hellion in front as much as possible. However, that's not guaranteed. The blood supply is short, so might bump into a few problems while this load up. I'm gonna get something to drink really quick and be back when it's ready to go. Now, stay with me, have fun. We're going into the Crimson Courtyard. Alright, I just drank my first cup of Gatorade and whatnot, and got a nice one. Now, here, just trying to make sure that my team got what it takes to succeed. Now, this has more food in it, but I'm not sure what to use. At least not right now. Now, if I remember correctly, we want to go north.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
I'm already making mistakes. You know what? Still pray to Jesus for that light. Help him out.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Gonna slice him up.
A singular strike.
He's dead.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Now, he's gonna pray for that lightning again.
Annihilated.
Okay.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's
Definitely
end.
Alright. She's gonna stop that. That's gonna get it away. Now, if I remember correctly, going up north is the way to go. So, we're going to be doing this path here. Now, I'm gonna kill this one because he guards. Of course.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive. Death waits for the slightest lapse in concentration.
I thought I had entered. Oh well.
Teetering on the brink, facing the abyss. Destroyed.
Good. Even better.
A momentary abatement.
Next time I'm just gonna bring him down. Because that's
Impressive.
not even I believe he did, man.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter. These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Still gonna be heading north. Best part. Do, 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 not getting ambushed, getting trapped, not getting hit, you suck on some freaking Kool-Aid, you suck on some Kool-Aid. Change up this Iron Swan for rush so that I can jump the 3 of you instead of 2. And we're gonna have some fun, huh? Add music. He's gonna go
Decimated.
on me right there. Easy stab. She's gonna pump it out. Come on, Jesus, leave her alone. Okay, don't listen.
Eradicated.
Should have got the guaranteed heal.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Let's see.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
So now he got an extra bottle of juice. Open that up. All right. Backtrack some. Okay, this is going to be easy. Focus her. Well, man, leave her alone. get that checked out. Man, you just keep going.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
I live this. Now that we're coming to the first gate of the room. Okay, no oogie boogie.
Circle in the dark. The battle may yet be won.
It's gonna get ugly, fellas. It's gonna get ugly. Here we go. Burn. No cap. I know this does like next to nothing. But it's
It would
something.
seem his taste for triviality remains
The show
unabated
begins.
even now. smoldering fear consumes the mind. A momentary abatement.
Oh, this is bad.
The abyss returns even the boldest gaze. Well struck. A death by inches.
Sorry, I'm just trying to think of like any way to like slow this thing down. I can't. For the life of me, I can't.
Mortality clarified in a single strike.
Don't do it.
As life ebbs, terrible vistas of emptiness reveal themselves.
Trying my best, but we might lose.
Death is patient. It will wait.
Oh, nah. No.
Such a terrible assault cannot be left unanswered.
Okay.
Knowing uncertainty, the birthplace of dread.
I could use some good news. Missed.
Injury and despondence set the stage for heroism or cowardice. not a true test. Hold fast, or expire. Perched at the very precipice of oblivion.
Oh, no. Jesus. No. No.
Another life wasted in the pursuit of glory and gold. Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle. There can be no hope in this hell. No hope at all. A hand's breadth from becoming unwound. The horror.
You motherfucker.
Patched up. If only to bleed again.
Well, this is an easy freaking L. Why?
The walls close in. The shadows whisper of conspiracy.
Like, I did this whole thing with like a man at arms, only person left in the party, and like these guys, sad to say, are weaker than somebody that cannot repulse. I am upset.
You cannot learn a thing you think you know.
Well, with all these things coming to a head, I'm about to like freaking clean out the vampire in
In
my
truth, I cannot tell how much time has passed since I sent that letter.
about to clean out all the vampires in my crew, in my everything. Because guess what? Take my treasure back. Organize it. And you're actually pretty good, but you can get the hell on.
This one has become vestigial, useless.
Sad to say, you can get the hell on.
It is done. Turn yourself now to the condition of those poor devils who remain.
You can get the hell on.
Slumped shoulders, wild eyes, and a stumbling gait. This one is no more good to us. Those without the stomach for this place must move on. Send this one to journey elsewhere, for we have need of sterner stock.
You can get the hell on.
Suffer not the lame horse, nor the broken man. To fight the abyss, one must know it. What better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield? A champion markswoman. Keen for a new kind of challenge.
This. This. Yeah, I want to get that. Sure, why not? I'll sell some freaking stuff. Mm-hmm. If I had a low level antiquarian, I would actually take this one. Oh well. Yes. I'm gonna go back to that spot and finish the rest of the important stuff in the map. Ooh, horsey. Mm,
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
the dab.
Be gone, fiend. Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive. The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
No trespass.
A momentary abatement. Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade. executed with impunity. Another abomination, cleansed from our lands. Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all. As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms. Eradicated. Back to the pit. Vigor is restored. Mortality clarified in a single strike. The bigger the beast, the greater the glory.
Of course. Yes. Yes. The dam. Choppo.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Here we go.
Another one falls.
I'm gonna keep on pumping those heals by praying to Jesus for everybody. You can take it.
Annihilated. A devastating blow.
Don't do it. All right.
The abyss returns even the boldest gaze. Soothed, sedated.
No, I'm not saying a lot, but I'm trying to fucking get through this shit.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
Of course.
Impressive. Obliterated.
Trying to bring him back up in the name of Jesus. Focus on them.
The horror. The ground quakes. Foolish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
Okay.
A troubling shortage of ale, and a notable absence of good humor.
That's going to be pretty good. This one's good. This one's good. Oh, well. I failed the Baron run, and I'm short on funds. I'm sure everybody would like to see me freaking skulk my way through a lower level dungeon. and that. This is okay, but only if you're doing dark runs. Jesus.
Tortured and reclusive, this man is more dangerous than he seems. He will be laughing still at the end.
I think that's enough. Because I got my booty handed to me. I think that's enough. Now, let's see. I'm going to be doing art while listening to Mashoku Tensei. Hmm. Just setting up the label for everything so that nobody nobody tries to do too much. Let's see. This was the sketch that I was doing last night. And obviously, I am out of practice, so it's not going to look on par with something that I was doing a week or two ago. But basically, trying to
Line,
transcribe
song,
certain things.
feel free to fix it if you know
I'm
it.
going to mute my mic.
Door to Hope. 7TL note, Baka equals idiot, Kapuru equals couple.
And
If it written in katakana this
I'll
is
pay
the correct
attention
word,
just in
if
case
not
somebody's
please
out
correct
there.
it back.
So just have a good
8
time
not
and
sure on the
listen to the
reference.
story.
Maybe http://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/gundara_%sign 28 song Now I have to go watch Monkey 9 and here I thought those http://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/kanpa were called Yarikans. 10 http://img4.wiki.no cookie.net/_cb20140227054043/ssb/images/6/6b/iclimberme Lee Ice Climbers 11. Konakijiji http://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/konaki-gg Chapter 102, Nostalgia and Impatience Part 1 Currently, I'm sitting on the sofa in my living room. The one sitting in front of me is Rudyard. Sylphy is putting Aisha and Norn in the bath. Sylphy and I have already come down from our intoxication. I'm sure our breath still smells a bit of alcohol, but detoxification magic has the power to sober one up from intoxication. Looking at Rudyard's face as the fireplace illuminated it, I remember back to the time we first met. Not only that, but the time when the three of us traveled together including Eris, vividly. It's been quite a while, hasn't it, really? Yeah. Rudyard narrowed his eyes as well, and the corners of his mouth rose in a small smile. How nostalgic. For starters, I'll say thank you very much for escorting my little sisters. Thanks are unnecessary. It's only obvious to protect children. That's right. Rudyard was this sort of person. In the middle of the journey, I made jokes about his love for children and made him out to be a lolicon, didn't I? The escort written about in the letter from Paul ended up being Rudyard after all. I thought there was the possibility of it being Ghislaine as well, but speaking of an escort for children, it has to be Rudyard. There's no other man as reliable as him. Almost to the point that I want him to protect my little sisters forever. However, it's really been a long time since I last talked to Rudyard. Last time, what kind of things did we talk about? Since Rudyard is pretty silent, we never really talked about the world at large. By the way, Rudius, what happened to Eris? Rudyard unreservedly came out asking about the topic I was hesitating over. It's something I don't want to be asked about very much. However, in regards to Rudyard, I'm sure it's something he wants to know. A variety of things happened. If I talk about them in order then. I told Rudyard about the things in the refugee camp after we separated. That I did it with Eris. After that, she disappeared, and as a result, I fell into the depths of despair. The fact that I couldn't get it up. I spent 2 years as an adventurer looking for my mother. I met with Ellen Elise and heard about the situation. Following the Hitagama's advice, I decided to attend the Magic University. There, I met with Sylphy, and she cured me. And then, we ended up getting married. I see. Rudyard listened quietly without giving any signs. And then, in the end, he just said one thing. It is something that happens often. Is it something that happens often? When I ask it in reverse, Rudyard nods. Most likely, it's an illness warrior's catch. I'm sure that Eris by no means hated you. One but, she said that we didn't match up and I don't know what Eris's real intention was. It might have been a meaning just as the words said, or else, you might have just misunderstood something. A misunderstanding. Yeah, Eris was by no means someone who was good with words after all. Rudyard as well is by no means someone who can be considered good with words. Since it's him saying it like this, then, it could be that Eris's words might have had some other different kind of meaning packed into them. However, at the very least, during the journey, she liked you. If a time comes when you meet her once again, you should try to calm down and talk to her. It could have just been that I simply misunderstood. The fact that we don't match together, in reverse, could have meant that Eris can't reach where I am. She might have gone off to train in order to even things out before returning. Therefore, wait for me, is the sort of meaning it might have had. Even though I say that, even if I hear that sort of thing at this point. Putting aside what kind of meaning it had, I suffered for 3 years. There was no letter from Eris for 3 years. The one who saved me wasn't Eris, it was Sylphy. Since it's a misunderstanding, throw away Sylphy and start over again with Eris like that. There's no way I could do that. It's already at this point. Besides, honestly, I'm a little afraid to meet Eris. It's not as if I don't believe in Rudyard's words, but it's a real possibility that she was tired of me. If I approach her with the intention of reconciliation, and she starts beating me up without looking at me, I would, as I thought, feel hurt. Already, I want to stop thinking about it. Regardless of what the truth is, reality is in the present. It can't be helped even if I idly think about it here. Rudyard-san, what have you been doing? Ah. I changed the topic. I wanted to listen to Rudyard's story. He made a face like he still wanted to say something, but he deeply nodded. For the past 2 years, I was in the dense forested area of the south. It seems Rudyard decided that the place where the Supered race may be hiding on the central continent would be in a forest area. For starters, he decided to move around the dense forest area that spreads out on the southern side of the Dragon King mountain range. There, he spent 2 years searching around, scouring the area. He wasn't able to find any of the Supered race. However, it seems he discovered articles of the deceased of several individuals believed to have died from the teleport incident. Afterwards, he would bring those to the nearby town and collect information there. In the end, the 2 years he spent searching in the dense forest area ended with no results. Rudyard started following the coast going south and moved until he made it to Eastport. His plan was to collect information from the direction of Mealy's, and after he finished that, he intended to go north and search the strife zone. However, he luckily encountered Paul and the others there. After that, it is just as what was written in Paul's letter. For Paul, who was hesitant to let 2 children go on a journey, it seems Rudyard offered to be an escort for the 2. Come to think of it, I met your Shisho as well. You met Roxy-sensei. Yeah. Rudyard made a bitter smile. The impression I got from her was a bit different from what I heard from you. Is that so? In what way? After telling her my race name and showing her the eye on my forehead, she was openly afraid. Ah. Thinking back to it, the one that taught me that the Supered race was a dreadful race was Roxy, wasn't it? Even though Roxy said all of that, she's still of the magic race. The ones most afraid of the Supered race are the magic race after all. It can't really be helped. Roxy was timid and frightened after seeing Rudyard. I also wanted to see that. And then, you came along together with Ginger-san until here. Yeah, we arrived in the evening and we went to the Magic University, but we were unable to find you. The 4 of them thought I was living in the dorm and would be at the Magic University. However, by that time, we had already moved to the bar. It seems many of the guys they asked didn't know where I went, so it seems they asked for my address. In order to not pass by each other, they separated with Ginger there, and it seems the three of them went looking for my house. But, along the way, Aisha or Norn made a mistake with the road, or in the first place, maybe the person who explained it to them was mistaken, but they ended up getting lost. Around the time they were aimlessly wandering in a strange place, Rudyard searched for my presence, and it seems they managed to arrive at my house. I see. In any case, once again let me say my thanks. Thank you very much. Thanks are unnecessary. You and I are close. Rudyard, who said that, grinned. The fact that I'm recognized by this man is one of the things I'm proud of in my regard. In any case, you were considerably fast, weren't you? The letter only just arrived last month. Even at fastest, I thought they would arrive after another 2 or 3 months. Your little sister was enthusiastic. Which one? Aisha. Thanks to that child, we were able to move very efficiently. According to the story, following Aisha's suggestion, it seems they made use of a caravan of merchants to move around at night as well. Such caravans of merchants fundamentally don't accept outsiders. It seems in exchange for allowing Aisha to ride along, they offered Rudyard to be used as an escort. With Rudyard and Ginger acting as escorts. The pay for that was allowing the load of the two young girls. It was a good purchase, is what it means. Although, it seems those negotiations weren't all that simple. In any case, they would move, and then when the merchant caravan came to a stop, they would find another merchant caravan to travel to the next location. By getting on one merchant caravan to the next, they were able to move very efficiently. Each place's merchant caravan schedule was placed at the top of the list for information collecting. Occasionally, they would go back a portion of the way to a previous town and then move to the place where a different merchant caravan was, it seems. After the other three asked why they should return, it seems Aisha responded like this. It's because this way is faster. I see now, a genius. That sure is amazing. But, if that's the case, Rudyard-san, wasn't it difficult? During the night you had to guard the merchant caravan, and in the day, you had to get up in order to move as well. No problem. In the past, I would frequently continue on without resting for several days at a time while moving. But, for the first time in a while, I felt like I was being worked pretty hard. After saying that, Rudyard let out a weak laugh. I wonder if he's remembering the human-demon war period. Nevertheless, that Aisha. To think she would work Rudyard hard so conveniently. Who does she think she is? That is, how do I put it, my little sister has greatly troubled you. It's a funny story. Rudyard is as soft on children as always. Even if he's fine with it, it's no good if she grows up into an adult that works her seniors hard. Later, I'll make sure to have an intense talk with her. But, during the time when Rudyard-san was desperately working, my little sister was sleeping peacefully, right? She wasn't sleeping. She was always calculating the most efficient route to arrive here. It seems that she wasn't just working Rudyard alone and playing around herself. I guess that would mean she was doing nothing but calculations for days straight. Writing all throughout the night. Then it's fine, I guess. However, she's still a child. Aisha was joyfully making plans without any spare time for rest, but since things like physical strength didn't enter her calculations, on the way, scenes like Norn or both of them ending up unable to go on any longer required them to rest. According to Aisha's mental schedule, it seems she planned for them to arrive here before winter. In other words, it was a plan aimed at getting here faster than the letter. I'm sure it must have been difficult for Ginger-san as well. What did she say? She was rather delighted. There's nothing she wants more than to quickly reunite with His Highness, like that. It seems many people in this world have muscle for brain. Rather, Ginger has been following through with the orders Zanaba gave out and protecting her until now. She sure is a devoted person. I wonder if she has managed to reunite with Zanaba around this time. I wonder what kind of reaction she'll have on seeing Julie. I kind of want to see that. It seems just like that, she intended to return to being the prince's subordinate. I see now. Come to think of it, Rudyard-san, how long do you intend to stay around here for? I nonchalantly asked to hear about it. About a week maybe. If I go around introducing him to my friends, it shouldn't take all that much time. I'm sure Zanoba will be delighted. I wonder what the likes of Rainia and Persona will say. I don't know how Cliff will feel though. He might be an acquaintance of Badigati. I'll depart tomorrow. Those thoughts were quickly drowned out by Rudyard's words. That's considerably sudden, isn't it? Yeah, the other day, I heard information that a demon was seen deep in the forest of the eastern part of the northern lands. I intend to search and see what that's about. It seems that Rudyard has already found his next objective location. It's a bit gloomy, is what I don't want to make him think. No, trying to restrain him is unrefined, isn't it? Besides, I don't have any intention to intrude on you. Intrude, you say? Such a thing. Something like treating Rudyard as a hindrance. I won't let anyone do that. It's just a bit painful here after all. That tone of voice, after all, it's a bit lonely. It seems the fact that Eris and I weren't close together was a bit of a shock to Rudyard. In my own mind, things from 3 years prior, memories of the journey with Eris and Rudyard are still strongly remaining. I don't know about Rudyard though. If I was in Rudyard's position and I saw the figure of Sylphy and I spending time flirting, it might be a bit of a bitter spectacle. That is, I guess it can't be helped. I felt kind of like a crack in my friendship with Rudyard had appeared. The friendship between Rudyard and I might have been something that Eris held onto. Rudius. After being called, I raised my face. It seems before I realized it, I had started looking downward again. Rudyard let out a weak laugh. Don't make that sort of face. I'll come back again. I couldn't do anything but return a bitter smile. I don't regret the fact that I married Sylphy. I feel kind of like I made some kind of large mistake. If I meet with Eris, I'll listen to her side of the story as well. Please do. I looked into Rudyard's eyes and said that. There was a kind light lit in Rudyard's eyes. Part 1. Soon after that, Sylphy came out of the bath. It seems Norn fell asleep inside of the bath. It seems like Aisha was in high spirits in the middle of the bath, but soon after getting out she collapsed into sleep. As expected of the bath's relaxing effect, is what I'd say. Warm water works well on a tired body. Thanks for your help. Yeah, it seems like Aisha-chan still remembered things about me. With just a single glance she correctly guessed I was Sylphy. It's a big difference from a certain someone, right? There are the differences of the color of the hair, the sunglasses, and the cross-dressing, so it doesn't count. Though it seems Nornchan couldn't remember. I think it would be rare for someone to remember a neighborhood Oni-san from the time when you're 3 or 4 years old. I guess so. It seems the two are currently getting along and sleeping in the same bed after being changed into pajamas by Sylphy. I'll listen to the story of the two tomorrow. It's nice to meet you, I'm Sylphy et Grere. Yeah, I'm Rudyard Superdia. Sylphy offered an awkward handshake to Rudyard. The two who suffered over their emerald green hair. Now neither of them have it green. Rudyard-san, what do you intend to do about a room? It's fine with whatever is convenient. Rudy, should we let him use a large room? He's an important visitor in regards to Rudy, right? In Rudyard's regard, I don't think the size of the room really matters all that much though. At any rate, I'm sure he won't use the bed after all. Please sleep wherever you like. Think of it as your own house. Ah, I'll do just that. Well then, I'll go ahead and rest. Rudyard stood while saying that. Yes, good night. Sylphy and I, the two of us just kept staring firmly, listening to the sound of him move. It seems he entered the room where the two children were sleeping. That Lilicon. No, during the time when we were on the journey as well and the time when we were asleep he never took his eyes off us. He's that sort of man. This time, he especially went out of his way to make it so we could hear his footsteps. If he had something to feel guilty about, he's a man who would have erased his footsteps and presence before invading. I'm sure he doesn't have anything to feel guilty about. I wonder if I did anything rude. Suddenly, Sylphy raised her voice with anxiety. Certainly Rudyard's attitude just now was a bit cold. Normally if it was a person seeking a handshake, then he wouldn't have allowed it to turn awkward. After all, it seems he has some thoughts about the marriage between Sylphy and I know, Sylphy didn't do anything wrong. He's a person who isn't all that familiar with people he meets for the first time, he's that kind of guy. Then it's fine though. It seems like Sylphy felt just a bit hurt. Let's go to sleep as well. Yeah. We haven't eaten dinner, but I'm not hungry. Ah, at the very least it would have been good to serve Rudyard some kind of snack, wouldn't it? Well, it's fine. I put out the fire in the fireplace and confirmed the front door was locked. The best and most useful security guy in the world is in the house, but it wouldn't be good if I don't properly lock things up. 2 After that I put out the lights and went upstairs together with Sylphy. We slipped into the bed together. Then, suddenly Sylphy said it. Today, that is, I'd like to stop there. Eh? Ah, I guess so. That day I didn't embrace Sylphy. It was the first time for a reason other than menstruation. Part 3 Next day. The same as always, I woke up in bed. Sylphy was still sleeping. Usually she would be rounded into a small ball using my arm as a pillow to sleep, but today she was normally using a pillow and seemed a bit uncomfortable. Usually then I would unconditionally feel her sweetness, and together with just a bit of sexual desire, touch her slender chest. Feeling a woman's body from start to finish sure does leave one with a happy mood. However, mysteriously today I don't get that sort of feeling. Today the feeling is bad weather. It's a bad day for the rising dragon. Even though I should be happy that Rudyard visited. After all, it seems the things with Eris are bothering the mood. Somehow I feel a bit gloomy and uneasy. I guess it might reduce some of it if I do a bit of exercise. For the time being, I decided to start my daily training. But, I'm not feeling all that motivated. No, even so that will change with just 5 minutes, number 10 minutes, of preparation exercise I'm sure. While thinking that I go outside. A scene of chills plunged into my sight. We had a visitor in front of the entry hall. 2 people. 2 people who are taller than I am. One of them is a bald warrior. A man who shaved it in order to hide his green hair and just continued on like that forever. Without wearing any winter clothes on his body, clad in some kind of casual wear outfit of his race and a 3-pronged spear in his hand. It's Rudyard. And then the other one is a muscular structure and large build with pitch black skin. Violet hair. With his 6 arms crossed, he was standing in front of Rudyard full of dignity. The atmosphere was extraordinarily bad. It's dangerous. Explosive situation. 3 If the janitor had come by he might have been stabbed. There was no smile on Badigati's face. His mood was bad. It's something unusual. The usually laughing Badigati was completely not laughing. I wonder what is going on with Rudyard's face. I can't tell from just his back. Rather, these two, are they acquaintances after all? They were both living since the Laplace campaign after all. One of them was the head of the Laplace Imperial Guards and the other side was in a faction on the opposite side of Laplace. Now Rudyard hated Laplace completely as well, but at the time there must have been a variety of things that happened, I'm sure. Badigati took a glance at me. And then looked at Rudyard once more. So that's how it is, huh? Badigadi came to a conclusion on his own and nodded. And then, without saying anything after that, silently turned and left. Just like that, treading on the snow, he disappeared down the path. Rudyard quietly turned around. It seems that face was somewhat tense. An unusual cold sweat was being drawn. Did something happen with His Majesty Betty? In the past. I somehow or other guessed it based on those short words. The supered race of that time would attack enemies and allies alike, without discretion, that entered their sight, so to speak. Most likely, he killed some people from the region Badigadi ruled over as well. No matter how little he pays attention to the land he rules as a demon king, he's still a ruler. If your own territory has been attacked, there's no way you can overlook it. I wonder what happened to their relationship after that. I really can't imagine that optimistic Badigadi would viciously persecute the supered race. No, it's the opposite. Precisely because he's optimistic, the probability is high that he wanted to lend his power to the people without power who were trampled. For example, even if Laplace was involved in it as well. Rudyard killed them and Badigadi wanted to return that grudge. I'm sure that truth isn't a mistake. No, wait a second. It could be the probability is high that Badigadi doesn't know that incident with the supered race was caused by Laplace's hand. Things in that area, next time we meet I'll ask him about it from my side and see. Rather, if I said in the future that I was planning to mass produce Rudyard dolls and sell them, I wonder what kind of face that Demon King would make. It would be good if he just laughed it off. At any rate, I'll be troubled if things between Rudyard and Badigadi are bad. Rudyard-san, for the time being, since His Majesty came to the city, I've gotten to know him pretty well, though I can somewhat imagine what might have happened in the past. Don't worry, I don't have any intention of fighting him. Rudyard said that while making a bitter smile. He said it, but since a while ago Rudyard has been clearly releasing some bloodthirst. Could it be, if I hadn't come out, one of them might have made a move? However, I couldn't have imagined that guy would be in this kind of place. Somehow, it seems he came to meet me. Ah, he was that sort of man, wasn't he? Rudyard made a bitter smile and returned back into the house. To think that the relationship between Rudyard and Badigadi was that bad. It was a blind spot. I thought that Badigadi could get along together with anyone. Part 4. After returning inside of the house, Sylphy was awake and preparing breakfast. For some reason, Aisha, in a maid outfit appearance, was by her side helping out. It seems like Norn is still sleeping. I thought to go wake her up and was climbing the stairs. I knocked and then soon after turned the doorknob, but since I had some kind of bad premonition, I didn't open the door. For it's almost time for breakfast, so please come downstairs. There was no response, but after listening closely I heard the sound of rustling clothes. After all, it seems she was in the middle of changing. I didn't induce a lucky pervert. I'm already no longer the insensitive type after all. Yes. After hearing a voice come out from inside, I descended down to the first floor with peace of mind. We ate breakfast with the 5 of us. Aisha's manners were considerably good for her age, she was eating in a neat manner. Rudyard was the same as always, unable to use anything but a fork. Norn still seemed to be half asleep and her style of eating wasn't very skillful. Well, you could say it's plenty for just using a fork. If I compare it to stabbing meat with a knife just like that and bringing it to your mouth. Well then, it's about time for me to leave. Soon after the meal ended, Rudyard decided to depart. His belongings were as few as ever and his body was light. The 4 of us saw him off to the exit of the city. Rudyard said it wasn't necessary, but it's not a problem of it being necessary or unnecessary. It's only natural to see off a friend. We didn't really talk about much, the 5 of us were walking through the city. Eventually, Norn grabbed onto the area around Rudyard's cuff. It was a reserved holding method, it seems to have a compact sound effect attached as well. 5. Rudyard's walking got somewhat slower. Matching his pace, we walk slowly as well. It seems Norn doesn't want to separate from Rudyard. I understand the feeling, I'm the same. I wanted to talk to him some more. I wonder if it would be better to restrain him. Honestly, even I want to spend more time with Rudyard. It seems like we have things to talk about that couldn't be spoken in just a single night after all. There are a lot people I want to introduce him to and things I want to show him. But, after all, we're caught on the things with Eris. I don't want to leave Rudyard with any kind of unpleasant feelings. It's not like it's Sylphy's fault, but I have the feeling that he wouldn't be able to talk without the situation with Eris being made clear, almost like it's lurking in the background. But, I don't even know where Eris is right now. While I was thinking about that, in no time at all we reached the exit of the city. Then, stay well. Rudyard-san as well, stay well. We said our farewells with short words. Even though there's a lot of things I want to say, when it comes time somehow the words won't come out. Well, it's not like it's a separation of a lifetime. It'll be fine if we talk at a time when things have calmed down more. Incidentally, it seems that he had already said farewell to Ginger at some point in time yesterday. Thank you very much for your assistance. Aisha lowered her head energetically with proper manners. The method for moving that she thought up wouldn't have worked if it weren't for Rudyard. It seems she properly understands that. I'm sure, in places where Aisha and Norn weren't aware, Rudyard was protecting them. Aisha. Don't ask anything too unreasonable of Rudius. Yes. I know that. Rudyard made a bitter smile and stroked Aisha's head. Rudyard-san. Norn wasn't letting go of Rudyard's sleeve. She showed him an uneasy face, it's clear that she didn't want him to leave. Don't worry, we'll meet again. Rudyard made a small smile and put his hand on her head. It's a spectacle full of nostalgia. I had my head stroked like that by Rudyard when I was making a face full of anxiety. Norn looked downward, then raised her face, wanting to say something, but she kept silent. Her expressions were changing with many faces. Before long, she decided to say it and opened her mouth. 6. I want to go together with you. She declared that. Rudyard caressed her head with a troubled face. Without saying anything, just caressing her head. However, in Norn's eyes tears were quickly building up. After this, rely on Rudius, not me. But, even though he, towards Oto-san. It's something that's past. He's already reflected on it. Your father as well. You heard about his troubles during the journey. You should understand it as well. But, yesterday he was drunk, and the woman who was by his side before is different. I can't believe him. The woman who was with him during the last time that she saw him is different as well. After hearing that, I thought the atmosphere froze. However, it seems the only one who thought that was me. Thinking about it, I had already talked to Sylphy about the things with Eris. It's not like I'm being unfaithful or that I'm putting on airs of a playboy. However, I guess that's how it looked to Norn. Rudyard looked mutually at Sylphy and I and made a bitter smile. It's the time between a man and a woman. Those sorts of things happen. It's by no means because your older brother is insincere. After Rudyard said that, he took his hand off Norn's head. Norn as well let go of Rudyard, reluctant to part. That person is, please tell me your name once more. Ah, yes. I'm Sylphy. Sylphy. Together with Rudius I entrust things to you too. Yes. In the end Rudyard exchanged some words with Sylphy. In regards to her, I wonder what Rudyard thought. I just pray that what he felt wasn't any sort of bad feeling. Well then, we'll meet again. I saw Rudyard off until he was out of sight. Once again, I was filled with the same feelings of gratitude that I felt the last time I saw him off. I'm sure, Aisha and Norn felt the same as well. Notes 1. Rudyard, are you referring to Eris catching the warrior illness and thus being vague or hinting that you're impotent as well? 2 Se? Muga, not sure what he was going for referring to Rudyard there, the characters are broken on my end and even then it seems short. 3 No clue. Rudius, you're driving me insane since this last part with all these odd descriptive words. 4 Dude, Rudius, you must be the first Protgianist to ever straight up reject that flag. 5 Line number 97 that I have no idea how to translate what was being said in this chapter. Can't we just go with she grabbed his sleeve modestly without making obscure sounds or movements that don't exist in reality? 6 Hyakumenso, 100 faces, or 100 masks expression. Chapter 103, Treatment of the Sisters Part 1. After seeing off Rudyard, we headed home. On the way, we separate from Sylphy. I want to be with her, but she has work to do. It's not good to skip work without notice. To inform Ariel of the situation, she heads off to school. By the time we reached home, it was already noon. Time for lunch. Staying with Norn is a bit awkward right now, so I'll make the meal instead. Aisha offers to help, but I'll cook alone this time. The finished food was totally bachelor cooking. If I am going to name it, it'll be bean fried rice, or something like that. Well, there is no helping it. Unlike Sylphy, I haven't seriously learned cooking. Is it good? This is delicious. Aisha is eating cheerfully. Norn is eating without complaint as well. It's worlds apart from what Sylphy cooks, but it's not bad. After finishing lunch, we went to living room. Norn and Aisha sit beside each other and I in front of them. I take a breath before I began. Well, it's a little late, but first, good job finishing the long trip to here. Yes, it's good to see Ani-sama in good health as well. Aisha said, with a clear expression. She's dressed in maid outfit. Though compared to last time I saw her, it's now a perfect fit for her. It's patched up in some places, but it's probably the remnant of events of that time. I guess this room is a new and interesting thing for her, since she is looking around with sparkling eyes. Her brown ponytail is swaying back and forth. Her ponytail is decorated with a white-colored ribbon, but it's a bit rugged and turning gray in some places, which makes it even more eye-catching. Norn is looking down, just like a normal child. Her clothing is normal children's clothing as well. It's blue clothing with a cute design. In Milla's kingdom I saw a lot of children dressed like this, but
I'm gonna put on some music while I practice sketching this. I know I'm switching from project to project and not really touching some of the older projects that I have. It's because I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. And once I feel comfortable with enough recent experience, then I will develop. I'm gonna go back to one of my big projects again and use the techniques that I learned. Excuse me. So with that said, I am I turned off Mushoku Tensei, which is a pretty good light novel and series, but I want to put on some music. to enhance my concentration. Oh no, Jack Murphy's darkest secret. He used the plug. Hmm. Hmm.
Dark side, light this bitch up.
Light it up, light it up. know that isn't how it's look. It's stylized. So give me a break. I need to have fun with what I do, or else I'm gonna drive myself crazy.
Dark side, light this bitch up.
is all the art that I'm going to be doing for the moment. I'm going to show up in about another hour. So give me a few minutes to eat, drink, and refresh myself and get back to the entertainment. Maybe some project ascension or some more
Dark side, light this bitch up.
Darkest Dungeon or League of Legends, or maybe something a little bit more relaxing like RimWorld Baseline. So one of those would do, so that I can still talk to everybody out there. Meanwhile, just take care of yourselves and try to have a good time, alright? I look forward to talking to all of you